Your will shall be done. Understood. We will do as you say. Brothers, get ready. There's work to be done. Your will shall be done. Understood. We will do as you say. Brothers, get ready. There's work to be done. Yes?
I'll keep the bastards off you.
This is it.
Good thing I came prepared. Finally, some action. I'll keep the bastards off you.
Take them out! Attack!
All right, here goes nothing.
Oh, you're getting a good return on your investment.
Move in.
Consider it done. And one lives forever.
It must be done.
Just what I needed.
That was all of them. Where's the masked woman?
Gone. Probably with that horde she used to steal the souls.
Damn it. That shouldn't have happened.
I agree. But at least we now know what we're up against. And we did what we came here for. To gain information. There's a group of rogue sleepers stealing people's souls and feeding it into that device. For whatever purpose.
That's an awfully small amount of information for a lot of lives.
Is it? Information is the first step to defeating an enemy. We'll cross paths with the masked woman and her sleepers again, and next time she won't get away that easily. You can count on it.
If these sleepers were also behind the disappearances Tahar investigated, they were probably also behind Tahar's death, weren't they?
Very likely so.
I'll make sure to ask that masked lady nicely next time we meet her.
We still haven't found evidence that any of this is connected to the God of Light, though.
No evidence, but hints. You remember what that village fool Samsa said?
That the masked woman said feed the light before she raised that crystal to siphon them.
Correct. It might have been some strange metaphor. But what if that's what the sleepers are actually doing? Feeding the souls to the God of Light. There is a connection. We just have to figure out the specifics.
Well, then let's head back to Greyfell and tell the Queen about this. Good work. All of you.
Keep it up.
Iria, a question. That other Circle Mage, the Dreamweaver, she used to be an assassin before she joined Tahar, didn't she?
Iana? Yes.
So, would you say she has changed? Has she become more human since the wars?
I don't know. She still has that thirst for violence, but she doesn't act.
See.
Tell me, Wraith. How did you convince the Queen to grant you an audience?
I told them I was a Dark Elven prince.
And they didn't even bother to verify that?
I just had to shout and threaten long enough. If there's one good thing to be said about Nortandian bureaucracy, it's that they're subservient to authority.
Well played.
Brothers, get ready. There's work to be done.
This way.
All right, I'm going. Try to keep up.
You cast one last look over your shoulder as you leave the Loranian swamp behind you. As though touched by the hands of a corpse, an icy cold crawls down your neck. The Horde, the God of Light, it's evident that they are connected. But how? For the first time in weeks, the sun breaks through the cloud-covered sky. You turn your horse around to catch up with your soldiers. At night, you lay awake for hours before exhaustion finally overwhelms you. Samsa's words echo in your thought as you fall into a dreamless slumber. The light. Feed the light. The Black One carries the mirror.
What's this?
If it isn't the puny paleskin. Yes?
So, about my relic.
What about it? I need spirit essence.
Right, I'll go get some. Why exactly do you need the essence of a vengeful
I knew it. Human nature, I suppose.
Excuse me?
Look, puny paleskin, I appreciate your interest in my work, but you can't just go asking people to give up their...
As a matter of fact.
What's that human...
You mean curiosity?
Bottom line, don't be a pig.
I have to be go...
Yes, yes, do as you please. Now, back to work.
Armors and shields. Everything from copper daggers to moon silver swords. Farewell.
Atop the mammoth stronghold of Greykeep sits King's Vantage, a gathering place of merchants, servants, and nobles alike.
Something about a heist. I can take care of that. have here? Well then, the Queen will want to report.
Interesting.
I see. I had hoped for a different outcome. But you once again made the best out of a hopeless situation. Which is why it is time to make this official.
You mean...
Yes, General Arev. You proved yourself worthy. I hereby pronounce you General of the Wolf Guard. I trust you will lead your soldiers as well as you have done before. A lot depends on it.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I will not disappoint you.
Good. Now, back to the task at hand. Thanks to the Wolf Guard's efforts, we now know that there is a dangerous political movement in Windholm, led by a dwarven priest named Arrakis. Furthermore, the soul vanishing Skadar observed is real, and it's a group of rogue dark elves, led by a masked woman, who are responsible for it. And there are hints that it's connected to the God of Light. This means that there are 3 questions we need to find answers to. 1. Who are those sleepers? 2. Who or what exactly is the God of Light, and how does it plan to enter our world? We hardly know anything about it. And 3. How do we deal with High Hierophant Arrakis and his movement? The last thing we need when facing an ancient god is an empire of crazed dwarves.
Your Majesty, regarding Tahar...
I know. You think those sleepers behind the Soul Harvest are responsible for his death?
It's very likely. Tahar was examining the disappearance of a village when the ambush happened. And, judging by a conversation I had with the Mortician, The wounds match the swords of a sleeper.
So it wasn't ex-purity after all.
Probably not.
Well, we shall know for sure once we identify the sleepers and bring them to justice. Another reason to see this through.
Absolutely.
So, you want to make all these questions Nortander's responsibility?
What other choice do we have? Do not misunderstand, General Arev. I, too, would rather focus my efforts on rebuilding the country. But both the matter in Windholm and these masked Dark Elves pose a threat to our empire. And I will not stand by and hope someone else will take care of this for us.
Shouldn't the Royal Army take over now that we know what we're up against?
On the contrary, the Wolfguard is best suited for any of these missions.
How so?
Because I want to see these matters dealt with as swiftly as possible. Mobilizing the Royal Army would mean a lot of discussions with the other noble houses, for which we lack the time, and I lack the patience.
All right. And how do we stop Arrakis without starting a war?
With the help of someone who is on her way to Greykeep as we speak. We will confer once she is here.
Someone?
You shall see.
Fair enough. Any ideas where we can find information on the God of Light?
Remember when I told you that I've been following a lead? Turned out this one wasn't a dead end. We already knew that many religions mentioned the God of Light, albeit under different names. There's one in particular, though, that sparked our interest. The Alyani.
The tribe indigenous to the Howling Steppes? How can they help us?
Well, unlike other religions, their entire faith revolves around the God of Light. It plays a pivotal role in their culture.
So you want to travel there and find out if they know anything worthwhile, correct?
I think it's worth a try.
Agreed. General Arev, you will travel to the Howling Steppes with a division of your best soldiers and find us some answers.
Understood. Where should we start looking for clues regarding the rogue sleepers?
Well, the first step should be to contact Exalted Father's ambassadors, and...
No.
Excuse me?
Dark Elven governance is... complicated. Even if we were to send an emissary right now, it would take us moons to even get an answer.
Then what do you suggest?
We reach out to a contact of mine, the leader of the Black Company. He knows all the dark corners of the Dark Elven realm, and I'm sure he can dig up some information on those rogue sleepers as well. With your permission, I'll send a messenger and arrange a meeting in Calabrok.
You have it. General Arev, you will accompany Skadar and see if this mercenary lord has anything worthwhile to say. It appears that we have a plan. The quicker we follow up on these matters, the better our chances of stopping the rock slide before it crashes down the slope. Good luck, and thank you for all your service. You have done well.
Tell me this is a joke, Ambassador. Tell me this is a bloody joke.
I'm afraid not, Commander.
On your order.
With autumn sun to warm your skin and a breeze on your back, the journey to the Howling Steppes is surprisingly pleasant. You sleep better than you have in months, and as you arrive at the border, you feel almost rejuvenated. The clean air, the vastness, inhospitable as the steppes may be, there is a certain peace to them. All the more surprising, then, as the wind carries a stench towards you as you close in on the Aliani village.
Here we are. The Howling Steppes.
As inviting as a crypt. Is it just me, or does it smell like undead arse here? Ugh.
You're right, it does. Come on, let's take a look around. The village is just up ahead. By the... See that? What by the Guardians was that?
I have no idea. Some kind of...
This doesn't bode well if you ask me. Let's find that village. Ugh, that smell. What is this?
I wouldn't go any closer. That's poison.
What a beautiful spot of Earth. At least we now know where that stench is coming from.
Well, at least we know where that stench is coming from. Curious to hear what the Aliani have to say about this. Up ahead.
Let me see.
Greetings. We...
Leave.
We're here by royal decree. Do you really want to antagonize the crown?
Threats, huh? Just what I'd expect from an outsider.
Zoema, what's going on here?
Kayawu. Blessings. The world has blessed us with outsiders again.
You're not with the bandits, are you?
We're not bandits. We're from the Wolf Guard.
Wolf Guard? I see.
Look, if you want shelter and provisions, we can set up a tent for you outside the village walls. But you cannot enter, period. Now leave.
I don't understand. Why can't we enter the village?
Because our faith demands that we avoid contact with outsiders, regardless of their intentions. Though...
We only came here to talk. We promise we won't cause any trouble.
How do I know you're telling the truth?
Let them pass, Waremu.
What? But the law...
Won't help us deal with the bandits or the plague, whereas the outsiders might. Let them pass. You may restock your provisions inside. When you're done, meet me in the eastern part of the village.
Stubborn boy. Fair enough, outsiders. You may enter. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Axes, daggers, swords, everything for the wary traveler. Farewell!
You have to let this go, Takana. She's with the ancestors now.
I know, but she's still out there. She deserves better.
Well, there's nothing that can be done. You know that.
Are you all right?
You're that outsider, aren't you? Just keep walking, please.
Wait, Takana, wouldn't they be able to help? You look as though you can defend yourself, outsider.
I suppose I can. What do you need help with?
My wife, Ehina, she went out to gather food a week ago. I told her to stay away from that bandit camp. But she insisted that's the only place you could still find berries. The bandits... they killed her.
Oh. I'm sorry.
I told her not to go. Sheogdet's mercy she deserves better than to rot on the steppes.
You didn't bury her?
We never found her body. After our last search, the chieftain forbade us from continuing. Said it was too dangerous.
Well, he also said it's time to let go, you know?
And who are you?
The name's Rita. I'm Ihina's sister. Please, outsider, tell my brother here that he needs to move on.
You don't think you should keep searching for her body?
Look, of course I want her found. She should have the full burial rights of our people. But not if it's going to cost the lives of everyone who loved her. Between the plague and the bandits, it's too risky. So no. I think we have looked as much as we can. She is with the ancestors now.
If you never found her body, how do you know she was killed by the bandits?
There were signs of a struggle and blood all over her campsite. There's no animal on the steppes that could do such a thing.
So you found where she was killed, but there wasn't a body?
No, she wasn't there. Maybe the bandits wanted to cover up their crime, or...
Now look what you've done, outsider.
Sorry. I'm not restricted by your chieftain's decree. I could search for her body.
You would do that? An outsider?
I have business in the valley anyway. I can keep an eye out.
Oh, ancestors bless you. You have no idea how much that means to me. Start with her campsite. It's near the bandit camp. We were in a rush when we found it, so maybe we missed something.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Huh. Interesting.
Ah, I was hoping you would stop by.
You were?
Why, yes. We have not allowed outsiders into the village for nearly 40 years. As such, your actions here will be recounted in our stories. And since it's my honor to carry these stories, I was hoping to speak with you.
You mentioned the last time outsiders were allowed into the village was 40 years ago. What happened?
Yes. Many in the village chose not to remember, but I carry that story with me. A fierce storm had swept over the steppes. The howling winds and lashing rains kept the children awake for nights on end. On one of those nights, 3 outsiders appeared at the village gates. Traders, they claimed, who had been caught in the storm. One of them was gravely ill. Mayawa called them rotten and began to close the gates, until his mother, the chieftain, stopped him.
What happened next?
The outsiders were allowed to rest and recover in the village. Many of the people were uneasy, but they trusted the chieftain's decision. As soon as the storm cleared and the outsiders were well again, we sent them on their way. We never saw them again.
That's it? You nursed them back to health and then sent them away?
Perhaps you mistake kindness for friendship. Our chieftain bore no love for outsiders either, but she did respect our teachings. It was she who told them never to return.
Ah, I see. Thanks for the story.
Of course.
I'd like to learn more about your people. Are there any stories you can share?
Ah, you are interested in our stories. Well then, let me tell you of Kahi and the wind. In the earliest days, the winds ravaged all lands. It shaped mountains, carved waves in the oceans. Everything bowed to it. Our people struggled to exist in such chaos, until Kahi challenged the wind to a race. She held up a small stone. Whoever could retrieve the stone first would be the victor. The wind, confident in its power, agreed without hesitation. But when the race began, Kahi threw the stone into the lake. Though the wind blew with the strength of a cyclone, it could not reach the bottom of the lake. Kahi dove down and retrieved the stone. Enraged, the wind howled for having been tricked, but Kahi was not moved. She commanded the wind to be calm so that our people might flourish. Still, the wind is devious, and it is said that when Kahi's spirit is not looking, it acts up and causes the storms that rage on the steppes. But Kahi's spirit always returns to remind the wind of its place.
That was an interesting story. Thanks for sharing with me.
My pleasure.
I have to go now.
As you wish. Listen for the storm.
I'll take a look.
Stay close. What do we have here?
Leave here, outsider. No good will come from you poking around.
Look, I'm not here to cause any trouble.
Aren't you now? Well, what do you want then?
What's life like on the steppes?
Why do you want to know?
I'm just curious.
Well, I won't lie. It is...
Then why live here?
Because it is home. It is where we are connected to our ancestors, to the truth of who we are. If we were to...
I see.
I hope you do, truly.
I'll leave you alone.
One can only hope.
Outsider, you found me. First of all, I hope you didn't take Zawema's distrust personally. It's just, well, we Aliani can be quite rigid when it comes to our traditions.
I noticed that. The name's General Arif, by the way. So, from what I gathered, your village is in some kind of trouble and you can use our help. Is that right?
Most of my people would disagree, but yes, I think we do. I assume you also didn't come here without a reason, did you?
You assume right. We need information about the god you worship.
Sheogdet? Ancestors, that's strange.
How so?
Well, it's a peculiar coincidence. But I think we should save the discussions for later. Let me be brief. Our village is in trouble, and that plague you probably saw on your way here is only part of it. About 2 weeks ago, a group of bandits appeared and took over most of the valley. They've effectively cut us off from our hunting grounds, and slowly but surely, we're running out of food. Now, our chieftain went to negotiate with the bandits, hoping that they could come to some kind of agreement. Even the wise women told him that it's too dangerous, but he wouldn't listen. It's been over 2 hours since he left.
You want to make sure he's all right?
Exactly. I may be mistaken, but you look as though you can handle yourself in a fight.
When you say the plague, I assume you mean those beetles and the fog.
And the fungi that are the root of the problem, yes. But, as I said, I'll explain later.
Your village does have guards, though, doesn't it? Why didn't they go look for him?
Because the chieftain forbade anyone from leaving, and they don't dare violate his order. Also, we Aliani aren't... how should I put it? We aren't the most formidable fighters. It has to do with our faith, but there will be time for explanations later. Please, we must go.
What on Io is a group of bandits doing all the way out here?
We're asking ourselves the same thing. Then again, they don't look like ordinary bandits. They are well armed and have members from all races.
Huh. Odd. Fine. Where did your chieftain meet with these bandits?
West of the village. Come, I'll show you.
You there, outsider. There you are. Blessings of the ancestors, outsider.
Likewise. What do you need?
Well, I heard about your arrival on the steppes. You have workers, don't you? Craftsmen?
Yeah.
Good. I am Kau, the village architect. And I have a favor to ask of you. We are dangerously low on iron, but with everything going on, we don't have the means or the strength to collect more. And without iron, I can't keep the village from falling into disrepair.
And then your people will have even more problems on their hands.
Exactly. If your men could help us out, I'll give you something that could be of use to you.
When you say something of use, what exactly are you offering?
Something my daughter found in an old human outpost outside. Schematics that you might have use for.
Why trust me with this? I'm an outsider.
I can see that. But you're also my only option, and I'm tired of sitting on my hands.
You seem a lot less fatalistic than your fellow tribesmen. How come?
What do you want me to say? Brooding was never in my nature. I won't lie, though. I'm afraid. Very afraid. But for now, all I can do is to keep going.
All right. We'll see what we can do.
That's all I can ask. Thank you.
Alrighty.
What the?
Get out of the fog, outsider! It's poisonous!
Out of the way.
And the soil shall rot, and the corrupted shall unleash the storm.
What was that?
Oh, just... never mind.
Lead on. Finally, some action. Got it.
Yes.
You're sure of this?
Oh, so it's true. Age doesn't just rot your
Area?
old joints, but
I
also
don't
your
mean to pry,
brains.
but
Told
what's
you,
it like
old
to stay
man.
away from your
Stay.
homeland, Finomir,
There
for so
has
long?
to be some way we can see eye to
Finomir is where I
eye.
was born, but it isn't my homeland.
Now look at those weapons. So you sheep have some fight in you after all, don't you?
Careful, General. Those are purity ropes. They must be fugitives.
Right.
Look, sir, we mean you no harm. You should put down that weapon.
Oh, the way that soldier is looking at me says something else. Well, here to incarcerate us, aren't you? Well, tough luck. We're not coming with you.
Are you with the Purity of Light? You're wearing their robes.
Well observed. Yes, we used to be, but that was before the god our leader prayed to turned out to be rotten. Oh, terribly tragic and all, but, well, what can you do? We know better now.
What do you want from these people?
From them? Huh. Just to mind their own business.
We cannot mind our own business if you keep us from our hunting grounds. My people are starving.
Isn't that unfortunate?
That soldier is with the crown, so unless you want grave trouble, you will tell us what you want from the Aliani.
Huh, really? You think you can flash that badge and get all high and mighty with us? Boys, I think this one needs a lesson. Get him!
Take him down!
This is how it ends.
Fair enough. Let's do this.
It's them or us.
Damn it. Healing now.
Consider it done.
Let me...
And so it continues. Did you bring them here, son?
Hold on. He's your son?
He is.
Huh. All right. Well, Kaiawu said you could give us information about the deity you worship. The God of Light.
Then he overstepped his bounds. There is nothing, I will tell you.
Ancestors, father. At least hear them out. They just saved your life.
Which might not have been necessary if you hadn't shown up. But, fine. Speak. So, you came here because you think we know how to kill the God of Light.
Actually, any information would help. We know nothing about it, except that it apparently wants to re-enter our world.
In that case, you're best advised to leave it at that. Once Jakku has begun, there is no stopping it.
Jakku?
The Alyani prophecy of the end. The eon-old pattern ensuring that one day, Sheol-Dead will devour us all.
I respect your faith, but isn't there anything we can do to convince you? We need answers.
I am sorry. And the soil shall breathe rot, soaked in poison and blood. The Scrolls, verse 2. Jakku has begun, and this plague is just one of its many omens. So regardless of what I tell you, the fate of this world is sealed already. Just go. Turn around, spend time with your loved ones. Enjoy what little time you have left.
Look, father, I don't think you're seeing the full picture. Yes, maybe Jakku is inevitable, but what about our people? If we don't find food soon, people will start dying, and the fugitives still control the parts of the valley the plague hasn't poisoned yet. If the answers we give these outsiders won't change anything anyway, why not let them help us? For the sake of our tribe.
As persuasive as your mother. Fine. Outsider, are these troops of yours that you mentioned large enough to match the fugitives?
They will be if we fight smart. So that's the deal? We handle the purity in return for information?
The bandits and the plague. You deal with both. And we give you your answers.
Son, what?
I don't know, Kaiawu. My division can deal with the purity, but I don't see how we can help with the fog.
You can destroy its source. The fungi.
Fungi?
Yes. They are what's causing this. The first of them appeared some weeks ago, and wherever they grow, they rot the soil and produce this fog. We think it's their spores. The beetles came around the same time. So they probably live in some kind of symbiotic relationship. Now, if someone were to destroy the fungi, maybe the fog would...
disappear.
Yes, and we know how well this worked out for Ukwe and Zama, don't we? Those fugitives are one thing. The plague is another. It's part of Jakku, and it can't be stopped.
Why are you so resigned? Maybe your son is right and the plague can be fought back.
Spoken like a true outsider. offended by the notion that sometimes there are forces at work which are beyond your understanding. Please, I don't think there's any point in me trying to explain our ways to you. We are simply too different.
Who are Ukwe and Zawa?
2 hunters. They tried to destroy the fungi from a distance, as the fog made it impossible to get up close. Suffice it to say that it didn't go well. The beetles came, and now our village has 2 more grieving widows.
When you say a symbiotic relationship, do you mean the beetles and the fungi feed off each other?
We think so, yes. It would explain why they both appeared at the same time, and why the beetles protect the fungi like their own eggs.
Ugh.
So, you think this plague is connected to your prophecy? Jakku?
The wise women say so. And even if they didn't, the 3rd verse of the scrolls speaks for itself. And the soil shall breathe rot, soaked in poison and blood.
So you think, what, did the God of Light send those fungi to corrupt your lands?
Sent them? No. I think that they are the expression of a particular stage in the pattern.
You're being superstitious.
If you say so.
Those fugitives are religious fanatics. Maybe they planted the fungi.
That's unlikely. They probably came here to escape justice, so what would they gain from poisoning the land?
I agree with your friend. They seem...
Fair enough. All right. We can try destroying the fungi, but we'll need a way to get past the fog.
Then you'll have to search for it. Maybe driving the fugitives out of the valley will give options we didn't have.
That's a big maybe.
I know, but I'm afraid...
Fair enough. So we have a deal, Chieftain. We handle the fugitives and the plague and you give us information?
Seems like my son has made the decision. Let us talk. According to our scouts, they have 4 commanders. One of them, a man named Thedric, being their leader. Apart from him, each commander is in charge of one of their camps. You should find him there. Thedric himself, on the other hand, moves around a lot, probably to ascertain everything in the camp is going to his liking. Always out. Well, and that I tell you, I wager that if you tear down their main encampment, the rest will flee. Good luck, General Aref.
Beetle plague, bandits, prophecy. What now, General?
Let's get our outpost into solid shape first. I'm sure it won't be long before those bandits for their negotiator.
Commander, we've finished researching a new technology. Building completed. Building completed. Building completed.
Over here?
Will only take a second.
Ooh.
One step closer to victory.
The outpost has been built. We've expanded our borders.
Let's get to it. That should work.
I will follow.
Where are we going?
You got it.
So much to do, so little time.
We need to gather more wood, Commander.
Chop chop, man. Let's get to work. Well then.
We're being attacked!
Attack!
Alright then, let's get to it. This will be a masterpiece.
Commander, we've finished researching a new technology. We're being attacked!
Good thing I came prepared. Move in.
Commander, we finished researching a new technology.
All right, here goes nothing.
Where to?